So we're live, and this is Thomas and Sampriti, and we have this idea about adding pluralization in Swedish to our Rails project that we are building for as a proof of concept, basically the Oodls project. It's been interesting, and a while back we worked on we worked briefly on an e-commerce project that was translated to Swedish, and we implemented this this library where we could pluralize Swedish words. And one idea is that we could make a gem out of this. So this is basically what we will be working on right now, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a gem that I had built earlier so I can take some references.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, I can find that on GitHub. Let me share my screen first, and we can go over some steps first. So let's see. Oops. Here we are. Okay, so let's go to my own repository. I think. Let's see. That was called Lash Queen. Yeah. So let's see. We placed it in the lib folder, I guess. Swedish pluralize. I think you have. Do you know if you have access rights to this repo? Perhaps you don't need.
I do have access, I think.
No, you don't. Okay. Well, let me just paste you the link to that repository. That's the.
Oh, I had a fork on GitHub, I think.
Perhaps you did.
I deleted it maybe. Because, never mind, I still have a fork.
Yeah. Okay. So an interesting thing is that in Rubymine, I have, if I select, I don't know, perhaps we should, it's just one way to do this. If I choose a new project in Rubymine, I can choose to create a new Ruby gem. If you have a look at my.
I used something different. Maybe because when I created my gem, it was like kind of an API wrapper. So basically something like, for example, there was an API and it was a wrapper around that API. I think that would work as well, but I use this.
Okay.
I use this tool to create this gem. Basically.
All right. So, but let me go over to the. What we could do, we could create a repo in the Swedish Maker Academy, repository, and we could, push up to that. We can use that as the main repo. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's perfect. But just don't make it a font. Just make it the main repo, right?
Once again.
Like don't make it a fork. I mean, just make sure that it is a main repository. Like
yeah. So now you have a good name for this. What should we call this? Shall I Swedish plural?
Yeah. Swedish pluralize, I guess. Basically its job is to do Swedish pluralization. So if someone searches, make it like pluralize Swedish or something maybe. Because if someone searches this on Google, it will turn up like Swedish pluralize. No, don't put Rails because gems don't need to be used in Rails, I guess.
Sure. So pluralize Swedish. Could that be?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. So public license MIT. Get more.
Oh, I'll be right back. Give me a minute.
So Ruby. We can add a description later on. Doesn't really matter. So okay. So that's the. Okay, and I guess we should fork this. I can just give you the URL to this, and I guess we can fork it to our own repos, or should we work toward this one? create a develop branch. And now I go to Maker Sweden. I create a new team, Swedish pluralize, admin access, and then I'm just gonna add some pretty.
All right, I'm back. I just had to take a letter.
Okay. And then we're gonna go and add a repository. Oh. Why doesn't it find it? Oh, there. Okay. There we are. Okay. So I just added you as an admin to this repo.
I just changed the origin. I remove and do it again. Oh.
So it's your turn to share the screen, I guess.
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay, so there's craft the perfect Ruby, yeah, cool. So is this the tool you're gonna use to create this one?
Yeah, because I don't want to depend on Rubymine or whatever, I guess. Because I don't have Rubymine. It's IDE based, and I have had good experiences with this, so I.
Sure. That sounds great. That sounds great. Any tool works. No.
So let's follow the whatever it says. So for gem install. Now let's use that. First things first.
Yeah, try to let's make a good commit history. So whatever we do, we can push up, in small chunks.
Now we do gem install pluralize. It is. My iPad is supposed to arrive today.
Once again?
My iPad is supposed to arrive today.
Oh. Yeah. So while we wait about this admin interface, I'm going to talk to a company. I spoke to Gothenburg City this week, and they are interested in Oodls. And now today I'm going to speak to a small startup that are doing some. They are into charity, into charities, but they do business. They right now they have this model that when you purchase a travel, like a vacation, then you can, at the moment when you're going to pay for your vacation, they have this interface that you can also donate some money to a charity on location. So if, for instance, if you book a trip to Africa or India or whatever, then you are presented with a list of charities in that particular country that you can, so if you pay $1,000 for your trip, you can donate, $20 or $50 to a charity. So this is, and they take a commission on that. So that's their business today. But they had a look at Oodls, and they were like, oh, this is amazing, because they are activists, you know. So this is amazing thing that you guys have built. Could we talk about, you know, us using that as a, a part of some sort of a business, you know, or help charities here locally? So I don't know yet what exactly they want to do, but I'm going to have a meeting with them today, and you know, see if there's anything we can do together on Oodles. But anyway, I think that having a super user admin interface would be a good thing for Oodles, you know, because now we have the donors and the charities, but it would be a good functionality to have like an admin login, you know, so that one user could, you know, make modifications in the donations, or, you know, things like that on every model. So that's why I was interested in implementing that functionality. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that sounds good. That's a good way to go. Like they are basically they are trying to take a commission, or like is their only business right now is like just taking some commissions on the donation to charities.
Yeah, that's today's business model basically. And I've told them that, you know, personally, I don't see a business in Oodles. You know, I don't see where you can charge money. You know, but perhaps they can see something that I haven't thought of or something. But you know, it's. I mean, when I spoke to Gothenburg City, they told me that, you know, we can give you some money to run this. You know, like a grant or something. But other than that, I don't see a business opportunity in Oodles. I see this more of a charity project, but perhaps they can see something in this application. I don't know.
By the way, if do you want to create the gem, because like whoever creates the gem, he will be the owner. Like basically, you have to supply a GitHub user and token. I guess that should be open.
Yeah, well, you can add me and you as a you know, as an owner of this gem, I guess. How does that work?
I'll have a look. So you can find your API token in your account page from the center. I'll just turn off screen share for a moment because I need to get my API token or whatever that is.
Oh, okay. So should I do something now, or what do you want me to do?
No. Like I just get the API token, like my API token, which I need to just create the gem.
Okay.
And I'll turn back on the screen share because you're broadcasting live, right?
Ah, okay. All right. Sure.
Help, file, settings. Count page content center settings profile. What? Can't even find it. Settings. Count settings.
So some people have been doing this before, and we were just redoing some stuff, but they haven't maintained this. These are really old stuff, so it's good that we can I can add this to our.
All right, so that's done. Now I can share my screen. Let's see what all it has created.
Okay.
Right, apparently I made a mistake. Add of data to the root directory.
Okay, so these are the inflections.
It's kind of a number of things which get ignored. Coverage data, out of bundle, jeweler. Alright. Readme, pluralize Swedish description goes here, contributing, copyright. I put the copyright and make a Sweden, right?
Yeah.
Is it Makers Academy Sweden or Makers Sweden?
Yes, that's right.
License, copyright, Makers Academy Sweden. There we go, that's done. Gem file, looks good. It is. We've got break file. Is correct. Is Makers Academy.
No, Maker Sweden. I think it's Maker Sweden, actually.
Yeah, correct. Display. Email.
info@makersweden.se.
Sweden.
Oh, sorry. Makersacademy.se, actually. Sorry.
Authors. Done. And that's done. Add the description later, I guess. Everything else looks good. Right, dependent gem summary, I guess. Something like add a.
Let me just. Well, we could just say something. Making web application in Swedish easier, or.
hope you the original reports are still there, right? What the hell?
The link on top is just to that Swedish pluralize. This in lib.
Lib.
So basically what we need to do is just to, if you could talk me through this. So we need to have this code, of course, and this gen should automatically add that to any application that it's using, right? Or how is it going to work? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, if you like just add in the gem file, Bundler will require that, and once you require this, this will automatically add these inflections. Like,
okay.
This is what I mean. Like, not here.
Cool.
Right here. This is what we do, so you can use Swedish pluralize or whatever. I just add support Swedish I think that should be enough.
Yeah, sure.
And what else do we have? We have test directory, we have a helper, and this. Basically, if I just type break,
So should we use RSpec to write some tests, or is this like the...
Yeah, I'm finding out. Apparently, it uses minitest.
Okay.
I'll switch to RSpec, I guess. Let me see what it does. Rake build, rake clean, rake clobber, rake gem spec, rake git release, rake install, auto rake release, rake test, rake version. Right. So good. We have a version file here. I did this a long time ago, so I'm just trying to figure out.
Gotcha. I mean, I've never done this before, so.
There are some tests. This is using minitest. I think we could just do it using minitest, or do you want to do it using RSpec?
It doesn't matter to me, you know. It's I mean, we could use minitest now, and then if we work on this later, we can switch to RSpec later on, perhaps, or just keep minitest. It's okay. You know, the only test I mean, apart from the basic gem setup tests that I guess are kind of feels like mandatory, but you know, what we want to test is that if I pass in a word with you know, that needs to be pluralized, it should equal to something. We can do some random tests basically on words, I guess.
Yeah. All right, that seems cool enough. I should do this. So let's just push this much right now, and add everything else later. So, yeah. Amend the previous comment. We created this and get ignored. Gem file, my gem file lock, license, readme, read file. Read file looks good. Oh, there is this one thing I have to do. Like this is the first and last time I'd probably be doing this, but basically I have to just force push this probably, I guess, because we have developers, right?
Yeah.
I was just thinking, is it necessary to have developed? Because
no, I was just thinking that if we play around with something, we could have a develop branch. But
yeah, but like I think if you wanted to play around, we could just create a new branch with that name instead of having developed.
Yeah.
I don't really.
Fair enough.
This is necessary because developed branches are usually only in applications where you have like different environments. This requires.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we have the basics up. Put test get on. Now let's import the gem.
So did you push? What branch did you? Oh, okay, all right. Oh, it was just me. It says that the develop branch still exists, but no, it doesn't. Sorry, then don't mind me. My mistake.
That's all right. So now we'll just import the gem, I guess, from the previous whatever it was called. Lib. Pluralize Swedish. Brutalize Swedish. That's it. There we go.
I got. I know you're not using Rubymine, but you're more hardcore than I am. But I got Rubymine licenses for my Makers Academy students. Got a deal with JetBrains. Yeah.
So for your the upcoming course in Maker Sweden.
Yeah. I wrote to Rubymine and I explained to them about Makers Academy, and I don't even think that Makers Academy in London has that. But I thought it's a good thing for people to learn how to use both the a text editor or but also have a full featured IDE to work on. So I just explained to them what we are doing, and they came back to me a week later and saying, yeah, sure, you can have licenses for up to 20 people. So that's really good. I mean, they are $127 each, I think. So.
Like for one license?
Yeah, for one license. Yeah.
For 1 year or lifetime?
I think it's just life, just one-time fee.
Okay. Then that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they are putting in a lot of work into that product. So, and they are very generous because they offer free licenses to open source projects. So I think it's, I mean, and I like it. I think it makes my life easier to work to use Rubymine, so.
Yeah, but the one thing is that whatever IDs they build, like they have a few, they do it very good. I mean, like if you have a look at the Java ID, like the JetBrains, it's like top of the class, I guess. I mean, I have used Rubymine for like maybe my first year I guess in first year in the Agile Ventures, and I was like the one who got the Rubymine licenses. Like I wrote to them, and then like I used it for the 1 year, and it was really nice. But then after that, I thought like maybe I shouldn't start depending on IDE that much, and I started to learn Vim. So yeah.
Yeah. It's just a different approach, I guess, So, but it's. I mean, Vim is cool. I've been meaning to learn that, but I just haven't got around to it. It's very convenient to use the Rubymine because it comes with so many features, and I've learned how to use a lot of them, not all of them yet, but and it's and Vim has a steep learning curve, so.
Exactly. So it's kind of like Vim. I mean, Vim has a lot of cool features. Like, just imagine, I've been using Vim for like 2 years or what, and like just 1 week back or something, I discovered that if you have a number, like let's say 100, you press, keep your cursor on that number, and you press Control A, it increments that number.
Oh, increments. Okay, that's cool.
If you do Control X, it decrements. So it's like I discovered this after 1 year.
Yeah. I mean, from what I hear, there's a lot of these hidden features that makes the programmer's life much easier in Vim. So, but it's there's a lot of stuff to learn, I guess.
Yeah. First thing we'll be doing is the lib for extensions. So I just let me take a phone call. Just give me 1 minute.
So we're basically doing an extension of the string class with this, and for anybody who's interested, what we're gonna do is basically make sure that we can use stuff like, let me see if I can jump over to this, the project where we actually use this feature. So I've built a very simple e-commerce platform. Let's see here. What am I doing here?
Hello.
Yeah, you back?
Yeah, I just have to do one bank transfer, and I'll be back shortly. All right.
Sure. Go, no, knock yourself out. No problems.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, no, not anymore. I cannot.
Okay.
So let's see here. So in the app directory in views, I think we have. This is open source, so if anybody want to have a look at this, I built this for a friend of mine that was opening up a business. We never made it to production because they switched some, business idea. But let's see what we used here on orders. I think we have, well, at least, no, hold on a second, and shared. Don't really remember. So this is all in Swedish. Receive our share and basket. Number. Evin's articles text. So what is the articles text? How did we do that? I think there is something in the helper method. Let's see it. Helpers. Application helper. Article. Yes. So here we are using this Swedish pluralize method. So this is the way we used it in this application. In this case, we created a helper method. What it says is, so if there's one product, it says produkt, and if there are two products, it says produkter in Swedish. So yeah, very simple. Nothing to it.
Hello.
Yes. Sir.
There's one question. So, like, this is it necessary to have Swedish pluralized? Like, I mean, let me check. Hold on. If
yes,
I have
well,
IRB.
Let's have a look at, and just think about it. Like in Oodls. So if we switch locally to Swedish, then we should use the Swedish pluralization, right? So we could use this pluralize, but it has to send, detect what locale we are using. You know what I mean?
For example, if I have like apple dot pluralize, why doesn't that work?
I think you should say pluralize apple rather than.
That should be working. That's, we could use a gem, I guess.
Interesting. What the fuck, Lang? What? All right. That was a nice gem name.
All right. Apple dot pluralize. See?
Okay.
That seems to work.
All right. So it works in Rails, but it doesn't work in IRB, right?
Yeah, there is something. Oh, it's action view. Interesting. Okay. I didn't know that.
All right.
All right. Tell me, let me try to install this gem and see if this works correct or not.
Absolutely.
So
that sounds interesting.
Say gem install.
So we can add that as a dependency, right? Or should add that as a dependency?
Yeah. I mean, if it works. So let's see. IRB required and I have a perfect example. Visa information. Oh, we need a key.
What?
Oh, we need an API key for this. All right, never mind then.
No.
It's an API.
Yeah, so
I guess we have to use.
Let's check the environmental settings for the local, for the IAT.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Huh?
Maybe like let's just go with Swedish pluralize for now, and then later we can change it, I guess, because like just the MVP concept, I guess.
Sure. Gotcha.
Let's do this for now, and then we'll improve on it. So this part is done. We'll have to create a new file for this inflections thing. So that would be Swedish pluralize Swedish. So kind of in like when you create a gem, it's kind of the convention is inside the lib directory, you first have one file which is like the gem name.rb, where you do all the necessary requires, because like when like if you are using bundler or IRB or whatever, when you install a gem in and you do a require, this file will be required, right? So you create
and
this
then
file,
it
and
requires
then you all the internal files, and after that you anything else which is related to the gem, you put this inside a folder called pluralize Swedish, like this gem name folder. And then if there are any like active record or anything else like which is not like pure Ruby, I mean something that like it's something that deals with something outside the gem, you put it in some other folders. Like when you extend something in Ruby, you put it in core extensions. And then like when you have in like Rails gems, when you have like some generators, you put it inside lib/generators. So it's something like that. All right. So collection.rb.
Yeah. Do you remember why we had to clean this string from the Swedish umlauts?
No, I don't really remember. I guess it's because of some encoding error.
Yeah. I remember we ran into some issues, but I don't really remember what it was. But I know that this solved it, at least.
Then if there is a better way of solving this, like without cleaning the strings, basically. So I think what the problem might have been was this, I guess. Let me check 1 second. Like you had some Unicode characters or whatever, and then you might have tried. Where is that file? Yeah, so maybe this G-sub or whatever was breaking, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It could be.
All right, so
yeah,
it's very simple, basically. You don't need to do this. So there is this active record or active support thing. I learned this in another project. So if you have like, let's say, let's take this. And require active support. So if you have this and you try to do reverse on this, this should fail actually. I mean, it doesn't really work very well. But hold on, I tried this somewhere else. 1 second. Hold on. 1 sec. Basically, whenever you have some Unicode or whatever characters, there is this active support method called mv_chars. We have to require active support. But what? Wow.
Perhaps they are not multi-byte. Perhaps these are in the regular, multi-byte characters are usually the Chinese or the Arabic ones, aren't they?
I'll open this up. Basically, what this does is like whenever you have Unicode characters or whatever multiple characters, and you try to do some like actions, like maybe reverse or G-sub. Yeah, sometimes this this is an example. So take a look at this.
Yeah.
So if I do this, I try to do, let's say, reverse. This works for some reason, but wow.
Perhaps in the new Rails.
Okay, whatever. I don't really know what's happening. But let's have this for now. Let's fix this later. So this would be MV MM collections, and then that would be E. For this, we need active support, right? So we need to require active support here. And we need to add a dependency here. I think we'll
you do require true, then you don't have to require it later, or is it so?
Sorry?
Can you do something? Can you set that it should be required already in the gem file? I don't know how that works really, so I'm just thinking out loud here.
Okay, I think the thing is like when you install a gem, like you do like install or whatever, you don't really get the gem file, right? When you get that gem binary, so it's so that's why I think requiring is important.
Okay,
Basically.
all right, gotcha.
That's something I think, and right here, I'm really not an expert in all these things. I've done this once or twice, so yeah. Gem dot and file. Fuck.
Yeah, I think if you require them in the gem file, I don't think you have to have them in the gem spec, but I'm not sure.
File.
I'm just gonna grab a phone call, okay? Hold on.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna mute myself for a sec. All right.
Basically, the story behind this is like when I started out, like first trying to do something like I hopped on freelancer, and one of my first projects was to like build a gem for this API. So this is like this was my first project on freelancer, like any project on internet. So like this was I think a year or two back. So I'm just taking references from that.
Sure, that sounds great. So yeah, so what you're looking at right now, whether you should add the dependencies in the gem spec or
Oh, it's not necessary.
no.
I do it, right. That's cool. Next thing is we have inflections, Swedish pluralize. Inflections. Okay, so a gem is pluralized Swedish, and here it's alright.
Yeah, well, we could change that model name or something, you know, or that module. It doesn't really matter.
It's alright.
Oh, another phone call. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
It was my friend. He's leaving for a big soccer game in Warsaw, in Poland. We are Polish, both of us, but we live here in Sweden. So we just
It's
left
like
for Warsaw.
It's like what type of game, I mean?
Well, it's some. I see. I don't follow football so much, but
Oh,
it's like a European major league. We are both from Warsaw, and the biggest Warsaw team is meeting some very famous. I don't know which one it is actually, but it's a very big game. It's going to be like 50,000 people watching it and stuff.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he wanted me to come along. You know, it's beautiful weather in Warsaw, and I haven't been there in like 2 or 3 years or something. So you know, I
You
was.
spend your childhood in Poland, right?
Yeah, well, I was 11 years old when I moved to Sweden. So yeah, so I'm mostly Swedish, you know, because I've lived most of my life in Sweden. But I still feel Polish, of course, you know.
Of course. Your parents, like they are from, like, they live in
Well, my
Sweden,
father,
or
my father, he never moved to Sweden, so he lives still in Warsaw, in Poland. But
okay.
my mother, she lives a little bit outside of Stockholm. On you know, Swedish is a very tall, a very long country, right? So Gothenburg is on the west coast, and Stockholm is on the east coast of Sweden, in the Baltic Sea. So that's where she lives, and
Oh,
yeah. So here in Gothenburg, it's never that cold. You know, it's not like the polar circle where they have like minus 30 degrees or something. Here, we rarely go below minus 10 or minus, oh yeah, something like that. But up north, man, it could be so cold. Sometimes when you spit, your spit is frozen before it hits the ground. You know, it could get to minus. You know, in the worst winters, it could go to minus like 35, minus 40 degrees.
so I'm just trying to understand here, like, what are the what where I don't think this is ever used, like this module right here.
Really?
I, I didn't find a use case anywhere in the code, so I'll just try and delete this. And another thing that I couldn't find a use for is this right here, this self.pluralize. Apparently, I couldn't find it used anywhere in the code.
Okay. Well, let's. Okay. Well, I would say let's push it up as it is first, and then run some tests, perhaps. You know, before
Alright,
we
sure.
before we delete code. You know what I mean?
Okay. Alright, so this will be 1 second. Give me a second, I'll try and find out what the heck is happening outside my house.
Sure. Sure. No problem.
I'll push this up as it is for now, I guess, and we'll try to do like make some changes or refactoring or whatever later.
Sure, sure. I have to go anyway soon because I need to go over to that school for the ceremony. You know.
For sure. But that seems to be a finished for now.
All right.
Let's test this. What I can do is just do wire./lib/ first thing I have to do is dollar.
So is it load? Should you load that first, perhaps?
No, I did load it actually. I do need to require after support. I'm just testing this to actually test the gem. We like need to just build the gem first and do all that shit.
Huh.
But there's something missing. Utilize Swedish. That's the reason. I have to play at this first. Yes.
Yeah. So. Just gonna make an update. Let's see what we do. Deleting background image. Yeah. So basically in orders, customers, type essentially. Okay, so okay, I got you.
To work, give me something in Swedish to try, like pluralize.
Well, try this. Since you were using Apple as an example, so I just pasted that word in. Yeah, there you go. Or is it pluralized Swedish or not Swedish pluralized?
No. I had to require that. I had to require that file, like.
Yeah, but is the method called Swedish pluralized really? Where do you declare the method name? Oh, okay. All right. So here you have Swedish pluralized. There's a. Is he on live 4?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have to change the method name, but on line 4, I think you have to.
Apparently this doesn't work, or what? Oh, we are not in Rails. I have to include a lot of things that active record uses and whatnot. Blank states. Active support for ext string. Interesting.
Got to take off, but we made good progress. I need to start moving away to the school. But
Yeah, sure.
yeah, no, I mean, we're almost there. It's just a matter of getting this to work. So push up everything you've got, and I talk to you over Slack whenever I get back. All right.
All right, sure.
I've learned a lot. Thanks very much because it was a good learning experience.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you later, brother.
Yeah, I'll try to get this working and then push it up. All right.
Wonderful. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.